I have an IMDb profile that I didn't make. Someone made it for me, but it lists all the films and things I've either worked on production side, but I also ended up just being in them because they always need like a spare hand
like an extra,
or like, yeah. I've been like, the worst one I did was I was a 1,000-year-old hag in Doctor Who.
Hello and welcome to Single Sounds. I am Katie Mack and I created this podcast to help singles find other like-minded people to date. I wanted to design a dating method that really digs deep into the personality of people with the hope that having more information on a person improves your chances of compatibility. This is the week of my second ever live show event, a singles bingo night at Inferno's. I bloody can't wait to see so many of you this Friday. I'm kind of nervous, not to host, but to actually attend a singles event as a single person for the first time. But I feel really blessed that I'm going to have so many familiar faces around, including this week's guest who I met for the first time at my first live show back in June, as you'll hear very shortly. If you want to come and experience this truly unique event and be in with the chance of winning some fabulous prizes and meeting some amazing people, you can still get those last minute tickets if you have no plans this Friday. You know you should be joining me at Inferno's. The ticket link is in the description of this episode or on my social media. I tried to write notes for this week's guest and I had too many bullet points to fit into this intro, which is meant to be a minute or so. She is definitely up there with one of the richest personalities I have ever had on this podcast. We recorded very soon after my breakup and she just improved my day so much with her unlimited passions and love for life. She has so much self-awareness and bravery to go to events by herself, switch up her career whenever she needs to, plus she has recently applied to first dates and does stand-up comedy on the side. When it comes to dating, she's looking for a king who goes to therapy, she loves someone who can play sports to an amateur level, and has an accent. Hello, welcome to Single Sounds.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. I'm happy you're here. We met at the live show, actually, which is a really cool little intro.
We did. It was so much fun. I absolutely loved it. I made lots of friends, met lots of people.
Yeah,
great.
I did. Did you come alone? I think you did. Yeah, you did. Honestly, there was actually quite a few people that did that, and I was so happy because that's the kind of energy that I want to always like encourage people. But anyway, back to you. You and your very independent self. I love it.
Yeah.
Let's start with your profile. Who, what, where. So, who are you sexually attracted to?
I am sexually attracted to men, and I don't want to say the cliche of like, poor me, but
sad.
Definitely 100% straight.
That's fair, me too. And what are you looking for?
Characteristics, I'm ideally looking for someone who's taller than me, but it's not a deal breaker. Between 25 and 45, I'm pretty flexible.
Oh, wow, yeah, that's the biggest age range I've had.
I'm in my early 30s, and
Yeah.
I've dated younger and older. There's benefits to both, so I'm kind of like, I'm very open at the moment.
And how about where would you like to date?
So I am North London, but my favourite thing is exploring like all of the hidden gems. They're everywhere. Like I spend most of my weekends doing it. So dating for me is like going to somewhere that maybe like they love or like somewhere that I would never think of to go, and like obviously ending up a night out at the Lexington is my dream. Like any of my friends who hear this will be like, oh good, she got the Lexington in front and center. But like
Good
that
nugget.
vibe of like a dance and like a disco,
fun.
but also love ABBA, so I'm kind of like anything that's like kind of disco themed. But during the day, I love a walk around, getting to know someone, drinking nice coffees, and just I don't know if it's that the sun is out.
Yeah.
This is like my vibe right now.
The sun is out at the moment. Late sun, but yeah, it's so nice. Okay, let's move on to the 3 A's. So we're going to start with acceptance.
Yeah.
Are they going to be accepting of your flaws and your quirks? First question, what would your therapist say about you?
I love this because I do have a therapist.
Good.
Who is
Everyone
awesome.
should.
When I was writing this answer, I thought about what she says to me. So, like, I think the thing to know about me is beneath my super confident exterior, I'm like a kind and thoughtful person, but I care deeply. I'm not as confident as I appear, which is a shock to anyone. Like, I'm in silhouette right now, but I think I give the vibe of confidence. I also talk about loss quite a lot because my mum passed away when I was in my 20s.
Oh, I'm
and
sorry.
it's one of those things where I often will just say, like, it's okay. And it isn't okay.
It's not
but
okay, yeah.
I made a space for myself in that I write a newsletter about it. And I try and share those experiences. And, like, on the whole, I, try and be authentic in all of my interactions. And I'm kind of enthusiastic about my work and, like, my passions, and I work really hard. I think of myself as lazy. We touched on this briefly earlier, but yes, that is one of my things that I kind of think. But anyone who
That's
meets me
definitely
knows.
your toxic trait.
Yes, I work really hard.
You're super productive, but think you're lazy.
I'm so productive.
Yeah.
I also have, like, a job and, like, 2 side hustles, but I also am like, oh, but could I do more? So I need to learn to, like, rest, and I need to learn to, go with the flow a bit more. I love planning, as we just discussed, but also, like, sometimes it's nice to just be spontaneous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's...
Yeah, you
that's
got
what
in
you
so
said.
much there. Like, wow. Oh, do you want to get in your biggest ick?
Oh, my biggest ick actually is this kind of specifically millennial thing where millennial guys don't have therapy on the whole. And I actually recently had an interaction with a guy, and I was like, oh, he'd been through something like a big breakup, and he seemed really, like, down about it. And I was talking to him in a normal way about it, just being a kind human like I am. I was like, are you having any counselling? Are you speaking to anyone about this because it's deeply affecting you? And he scoffed at me. I was like, of course I'm not. And I just took from that interaction
It's because people don't, like, to be fair, like, even I didn't realise until I started work and people were talking about it a bit more openly. Like, I don't think people realise that you can go for, like, anything, like, just life. I think people think you need a really traumatic experience or, like, for you to be, like, basically diagnosed as depressed to go, and it's just like, that's not... It's not the case. Like, everyone should go just to chat like, and work things through, because everyone has questions and problems. And and I think he probably thought, like, oh, a breakup's not serious enough to, like, go to therapy.
Exactly.
When of course it is. Like,
it's so
if it's making you sad, of course it is.
And, like, the burden falls on women like us then to kind of, like, fill that gap where, like, I'm very empathetic. So if someone comes to me and is like, I'm having a hard time, I will go out of my way to try and
help,
be like... to be like, can I talk to you about it? Can I, like, help you?
Supportive,
like, exactly. But I don't know. The more I've reflected on it since it was the scoff for me.
Like,
that did it.
No, that's like, such a stupid suggestion.
Yes. And I was like, oh, cool, okay.
You're the stupid suggestion.
It's you.
Yeah,
you're the problem.
Taylor's thinking about you now.
I'm like, Taylor, you got it wrong. It's the wrong way round. Yes, that's my biggest ick, is, like, people in general, but men specifically in this context, not having therapy when they definitely need it.
And being rude about it as well.
Being rude,
Just, like, awful. Fair enough. Let's move on to what is the nerdiest thing about you.
Oh, you're going to love this. I am a huge nerd.
Honestly, so many people say that to me, that come on. I think it's really nice that, like, being nerdy is I don't know, it's almost transformed itself into something that's, like, cool, I think. Yeah. Because it's like, you have hobbies, you have things that you're interested in.
Like, I have a lot of, like, hobbies, as I've previously discussed with you at our times we've met, but like, I'm super into, like, stationery, like pens and notepads, and I love like that. Feeling paper quality and yes, but aside from that, so that's one nerdy thing about me. I'm also super into, like, tea.
Oh yeah,
I love tea.
Love tea.
I have a whole cupboard full of tea in a tiny London flat.
That is mature and attractive. If I went round and someone has multiple herbal tea options, I'm like, you are my kind of person.
It is like that. Like, I literally have a box and it's all labelled, and it's
so cute.
It's all organised into, like, different teas, and it's for different types of I mean,
like,
this is
different
very
feelings, different moods.
It's just nothing better. There's one called Tea and Toast, the Bird and Blend do. Oh, that is, like, the god tier tea for me.
Is it like a breakfast tea kind of thing? Yeah.
So if I'm having a really bad day, I will make myself a cup of that, and it'll just make everything better. In my Jane Austen mug.
Oh, love it.
nerdy. But also,
Oh my god, no. Pride and Prejudice is like my favourite thing. So.
my necklace, I have a necklace on which no one can see that has Pride and Prejudice on it. It's a book-shaped necklace.
Oh, I just thought it was like a cute square.
No,
What does it say on
no.
it?
It says Pride and Prejudice
Oh,
from
does
the
it?
Jane
I can't
Austen
read
collection.
it. Yeah. Oh, that's so cute. Look at you go.
Nerd. But I also really like sci-fi, so I'm into like Star Trek, Star Wars. I have opinions. I know the difference. I actually just finished
I love
watching.
that. I love opinions.
I have opinions. Lots of people do, lots of people don't. But like, my first job out of uni was on Doctor Who.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's what you're like. That's really nerdy.
Yeah,
like,
but it's cool though. I used to love Doctor Who.
Oh, I loved it so.
I haven't watched it in a long time though.
I haven't either. I stopped watching it basically when I stopped working on it like 7 or 8 years ago. But I did this like BBC production talent pool thing. Really wanted to get into film production, TV production, and just really lucked out that I like got through all of. There was like 7,000 people applied for it, and then I ended up, my CV was like on the top of the list for Doctor Who, and I ended up like doing my dream job straight out of uni.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
That is
It
really
was just
cool.
so. It's the most nerdy because I'd be there and I'd just be like, oh my god. And my brother's a huge nerd too, so I took him on like the TARDIS and like
so
went behind
cute.
the scenes, and I'm in
I would
it.
have loved that. I would have loved to have gone inside the TARDIS.
I'm kind of like, I have an IMDb profile that I didn't make, someone made it for me, but it lists all the films and things I've either worked on production side, but I also ended up just being in them because they always need like a spare hand
like an extra,
or like,
yeah.
I've been like, the worst one I did was I was a 1,000-year-old hag in Doctor Who. You can't see it's me, but
Oh
it
yeah, I was
is
gonna say,
me.
is there like a clip of it somewhere?
I
you
will
gone?
send you the
Yeah,
clip
I
of
want
it.
one.
It's bad. But then I'd be like opening a door or like doing this. They were like, oh, we need someone to play the hag. And I was like, me guys.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's like 24.
That is so funny. Yes, you've like featured in like loads of random episodes and stuff.
Yeah, I've been in it a lot.
That's
but
really cool.
It is cool. And it's like people who like Doctor Who, once you know I'm in it, like you can see where I'm in it and it's really fun. I was trying to think what else there is. Oh, I love museums.
Nice.
I love to go, like obviously the British Museum and all the jokes around that and colonialism aside.
Yeah.
I love to go and see art.
I love to see all the stuff we've stolen. Yeah.
I love to see all the stuff we've stolen. But I'm Welsh, so I kind of feel like I'm a
You didn't
little bit
steal it.
mitigated from this. But I love to do, like, I'm a massive history buff. Like, I have a favourite English king,
Yeah.
even though I'm Welsh and, like, I'm not supposed to. My favourite English king
Who
is
is it?
Edward IV.
Okay, Rogue. What did he do?
He was 6'4".
Nice. he was a bit.
He married a commoner. And he
Oh,
brought
cool.
peace to the United Kingdom for the first time after the Wars of the Roses.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm so bad at history, but I liked Henry VIII. I was going to say he was my favourite, but not because he was a good person. I just loved all the stories of like the wives and
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
like,
Henry
and
VIII's
going to
great.
Hampton Court is like actually such a good day out. I always thought that'd be a really good date.
I really love going to Hampton Court because all of the people there are so enthusiastic
Yeah.
too.
And they
all
like
the
tell
people-
stories
yeah.
and stuff. It's really nice.
I
I
love
literally haven't been in years, but I'd love to go. So if anyone wants to take me on a date, us maybe a double date to Hampton Court.
We should do a double date to
I'd-
Hampton Court.
I'd
I would be
fucking love
down.
that.
I think we'd have an amazing time.
Well, we would. Even if the people we bring as shit, we could have a great time.
We could pick people for each other.
That's
Double
smart.
oh,
I
this
actually, as you've been talking, I have someone I think would be a good match for you. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
What a great
he's
place
actually
to
just
come.
he's just moved to London, but he's like similar age,
Yeah.
and I just think, yeah,
Double date Hampton
he's like
Court.
he gave me a list of things he's looking for like recently. Oh my god, he'd be a
Ding.
good match. So I think he'd be up for Hampton Court.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very proactive, so I will make that happen.
What a great episode already. We covered so much. Okay, let's move on to adventure, even though we don't need any more adventure, but you know, we can have more of it. So, first question, what is the biggest risk you've ever taken?
Oh, so like I was saying before, I had this big thing happen to me when I was really young. And it kind of made me brave in ways that I hadn't really fully appreciated until I was like in my 30s now. And the biggest risk I've taken is changing careers multiple times. Like every time I've got to a kind of like stuck in a rut with one of them, I've not been afraid to ditch everything and start over. And I
Yeah.
mean, I did like the film industry, so I did that for a couple of years, and then I moved to London with an ex, which is a whole story for a whole other podcast.
Yeah, a breakup podcast. I'm,
breakup podcast, not this
I'm
one.
quite tempted to start, to be honest, but not right now.
I will listen to it
Yeah.
when you do.
Obviously, I've just been binging breakup content, and it's so nice. It's like really reassuring to people going through it. So,
Yes.
yeah.
I love, it's
good.
finding a common purpose or finding a common experience. Is
100%,
like
yeah.
contextual. Like I love case studies, so I will look at like this person has gone through this, and this is how they handled it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I like. Hearing just like real experiences as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Not just like celebrity experiences. You know
No,
what I
like
mean? Just like
real
normal,
people.
real people. Yeah, that also have to then continue their life once they've been broken up with. You know, they have to go to work, and you have to still live. And you're like, how do I do that? It feels like impossible at the time.
Yeah, this is so like on the career things. I changed jobs like from film industry, then I came and did like an office job because I'd never done one. I was like 25 and I was like, this is fun, like we all hang out every day, like this is completely different. Got really bored of that
Office galley.
almost immediately because I was like, this isn't, I'm a writer normally, like that's what I do. Like the stationery thing comes from the fact that I write constantly.
Makes sense.
I have 3 notebooks in my bag now, like as we sit here, 3 different notebooks for 3 different things.
Nice.
And 4 pens. I love stationery. But like so I went to this office job, had an amazing time, but then I was like, oh, I actually want to work in magazines because I want to write and that's where I can get my writing out. So I left that and went to Stylist magazine.
Oh, cool.
But as an office manager, but also like freelancing a bit on the side.
Yeah, I feel like it probably is, if you're in the right space, right? They might be like, oh, we need an article on this, or like you can maybe pitch your stuff.
It was really lovely, and they were so nice. Like, oh my god, I loved that. Like, if any of them have listened to this, they know who they are. They're just the most lovely people. Like, I felt like I found my tribe when I was there, and I hadn't felt that. Like, the TV industry is lovely. I found like a family there, but I never really felt like we were on the same page career-wise.
Okay.
So I was there for a bit, and then I was like, I want to do more of this. So I went and did my masters when I was 28, which, oh my god, there's nothing more humbling than being a 28-year-old with train track braces. I just was like, I'm going to do all, fuck it, I'm going to be like...
Just going to like redo.
I'm going to redo, I'm going to redevelop, I'm going to get a master's. So I went and did my master's in magazine journalism at City, which was really fun.
That's
And I
cool.
found like a new group of people. They were much younger than me, and that was like, again, another really weird experience.
Yeah, like a new phase kind of thing.
Yeah, and I kind of did like freelancing, and I worked for like a body that oversees magazines. I really loved that job. Every week I get to talk to like these amazing, like I used to interview like the editor of Empire or like the
really
editor
cool.
of Cosmo, people I still keep in touch with because I made like these connections.
This is great. I was like,
I love to network.
they can feature maybe the podcast.
Exactly. There are so many cool people, and like the
like, I
world
need
is
some
too
PR.
small. Yes. Do you need an article written about your podcast?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll save it for after this. We'll take it offline and then we'll talk about it. But I did stylist and then did my masters, and then I had like this huge breakup between jobs. So I went freelance from this magazine body. I was like, right, I'm ready now. And then I had this huge breakup and I was like, oh fuck, what do I do now? And I'm one of those people who was like, right, I love London. I'm from Wales originally. I don't know if anyone can tell from my accent. Apparently
It only comes
really
out
strong.
like, I don't know. I think it only comes out like in some words and some phrases that you say.
If I say here, that is really, really well.
Yeah.
Over here. And I'm like, yes, I can't say it in a normal way.
Yeah.
And weird. Apparently I say weird in a weird way.
Weird, maybe.
Weird.
Yeah, like elongate the E a
Lots
bit.
of people point that out. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's weird that I say weird in a weird way.
Too many levels.
It's so bad. But after the breakup, I was like, I either can sort of sit down and, not want to take a risk and go back to London. So I took this like objectively terrible job at like a diary agency. So it wasn't journalism. It was kind of like to the side of that. And then from there, just kind of built myself up. And I mean, in this job, I was so sad at the time. Like I would like go in the bathroom and cry at lunchtime sometimes, because I was like, oh, my whole life just blew up. Like I had nowhere to live. I didn't know what I was doing.
It's awful.
Was in this job I didn't want to do. I was like not able to come up with good ideas because I was so sad.
Well, this is the thing. Like, honestly, I'm only like, as we're recording this, I'm only like 2 weeks post breakup. This week I've been better at doing work, but like you literally can't, like you just can't be productive, and like especially being creative, I think that's a whole nother like bit of your brain that you need to like tap into almost, and you can't when you're like consumed by sadness, like you just can't.
Exactly.
Like,
and
so
no
I'm
one
not
kind of like
surprised
puts that out there for you to be like, it's okay actually.
Yeah,
if
that's
you
normal.
can't
Yeah,
function.
I agree.
And my little like romantic heart, oh my god, she's just so delicate sometimes.
I know. I feel like in like when you go back and you look at like I've had like other breakups where I acted so poorly because I was just so heartbroken, and you just feel sorry for that person. You're like, leave her alone. She was going through a really tough time.
She's going through it.
Yeah, she was like, like you said, it feels like your whole world is blown apart. Like,
but like one of the big career risks I took was moving out of that space that I knew. Journalism, like production, like all of those different things, into like public sector comms, which is the least sexy title for a job. But I went for this like pretty high profile job where I work currently, and just sort of fell into it. It's like
nice.
Nothing I ever imagined, but I ended up being like the communications person that did all of London's recovery comms, and cool. It was amazing, and it gave me that boost of being like, oh wow, like
I can do this.
You're so worthwhile, like you have, and it was such a meaningful thing to do during that like really awful time.
Yeah, of COVID. Yeah.
But I've never been a person who'll be like, I'll try anything, and biggest risks I take are always off the back of like someone either saying, oh, you probably couldn't do that, or me myself having that negative self-talk of being like, you probably can't. So then I'll be like, well, should probably prove I can now.
Yeah.
And then just do it.
It's good to like rechannel it to be like, no, I can. Like this is what I can do. I love that. But yeah, I'm happy you're happy in your job now. I think career satisfaction is something that's like a big topic with people around like high 20s, low 30s, where you're like, you go through a whole new stage of like, is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? And a lot of people, like a lot of my friends now are realizing it's not. They've been in their job like 5-6 years, and they're like, oh, actually, I think I might hate it here. They're saying they look at their seniors are there, and they're like, I don't want to be you in 10 years time. So like, what does that mean? Does that mean that there isn't a space for me here?
It is crazy. Like when I'm in that unique situation now where I'm like, I'm kind of senior, but I'm also not like a senior manager.
Yeah.
And I look at it and I'm sort of at that crossroads again of after this contract that I'm on at the moment, do I keep going down this path? Do I go somewhere else? And in the past, I've been anxious about it. And I've been like, oh no, like, what does it all mean? But recently I've been sort of reframing it as like, what an adventure.
Yeah.
Who knows
really
where
nice.
I'll be 18 months from now? Who knows what I'll be doing? I mean,
it's really cool.
It's exciting. It's trying to keep the excitement.
It's nice that you've moved so much that I guess you know that it will work out. Yeah. Like you've got the experience of being like, it will be for the positive.
Yeah, and if it isn't, you can always do something
then you can
else.
just move. Yeah, I agree.
I try and like give that as advice to like when I'm either chatting to people who are having similar thoughts or like starting their careers. I'm like, whatever you're doing when you're like 22, you probably won't be doing that forever. And that's amazing because you'll grow and you'll get new skills and
new networks,
become someone.
And
You never know. I love that.
They're really cool.
And that's what I'm trying to take into my dating life too. I'm like, the adventure.
Yeah, just think of it as stories.
Yeah.
It's quite hard. Like lots of people do say that. They're like, no, bad date's a bad date. It's just a good story kind of thing. But like...
no, there are bad dates.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like
dates.
we do need to like be honest and be like, there's terrible dates. Yeah, they make good stories, but they can still make you feel terrible.
I think why we then have to have more therapy.
Yeah, exactly. But that's okay.
Because we love it.
We can work on it. But like, I still think we shouldn't like sugarcoat it with like, oh, it's just a fun story. Like, no, there are some terrible dates and it's okay if you feel sad about them.
Exactly. We just got to be there. Got to be compassionate for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Okay. Next question is, what does your dream life look like?
So my dream life is, I thought about this as part of my like daily journaling. I was like, what does my dream life look like? I honestly love to write. There's this, I can't even remember what it's actually called, but there's like a Japanese philosophy where you enter a flow state when you're really happy doing something.
Okay.
I think it's ikagi. I think that's what it is.
Have you watched the movie? This is such a stupid reference. Have you watched the movie Soul in
Yes.
Disney? Isn't that what they do?
Yes.
They go into like their trance when they're like doing something that they
That's it.
love. Yeah.
So writing is I can sit at my desk with something that I'm passionate about, or like an article I'm writing, or like something like that, and hours will pass and I will just be like completely content with
Insane.
it.
That's so cool.
That's like my dream life is doing that in a cute little house with a pink door with roses growing over. Like it is that kind of cliche, with someone who supports me and someone who like you have that like kind of relaxed love with. Like I love dating. I'm very happy like in my current situation as being single, but
Yeah.
I'm so romantic. Like
Yeah.
I definitely know that I have this big heart and it's full of like all of this love, and it's somewhere that,
You want to direct it to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like I have so much like empathy and compassion for other people. Like I would love to be on the receiving end of like
Yeah.
this, but I think that might exist for me as well. Like
It will, yeah, 100%. You just need to find it.
Yeah.
And being picky on something like that is so important.
Exactly. And like I think that my main thing when thinking about like what my life looks like, I like the unknown in terms of like I don't know what I'll be doing specifically. I don't know. I think I'll be in London because I love London. I'm like the worst when people are like, I go home to Wales and they're like, oh, London's so dangerous. And I'm like, Wales is so dangerous.
Yeah, you're like that family member that comes home. I've seen like the TikToks being like, London this, London that, London.
That's me.
Yeah.
And it's so bad. But also like I do genuinely, it's just got in my soul now. I'm just like,
it's home.
it's home to me.
Yeah.
And like I feel very comfortable here. It's like my stomping ground. Like I have my cute places. I have like
Yeah,
the
your
best
network.
places to go.
and- yeah, exactly.
But like being happy and fulfilled, I think those are the two things. Like I think unless and happiness isn't a constant state, it's that striving for things that make you feel fulfilled and things that make you happy.
Yeah.
And it's just knowing that like I hope that my dream life part of that is always having that recognition that tomorrow is like open wide and you can do what you want.
It's a
and
new day kind of
it's
thing.
lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really
So yeah,
nice.
but all of that, but in the little house with the pink door, with a stunning 6'4" king.
Perfect. You know what? Honestly, I'd join in that dream life. Sounds great.
He doesn't have to be 6'4", but he does have to be a king.
Yeah. He has a king who goes to therapy.
Yes.
Dream. Okay, let's move on to affection section that ties in quite nicely. So other than 6'4" kings that go to therapy, what are you weirdly attracted to?
Oh, every one of my friends who hears this is gonna rip it out of me forever. I weirdly have a thing for like Grace Campbell does a joke about this at the moment. I'm
I
livid that she
love
came
her.
up with it.
Oh,
Because
really?
like it is so my type. So I really like people who play sport to an amateur level. Specifically football. I love an amateur footballer. Like if you walk past a field of men playing football.
As in like just in the park, is that the
Yeah.
level we're going for? Like that amateur? Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm going for. It's
Like
just,
the five-a-side on a Monday or Tuesday when they play with their friends.
Yes.
Like,
if your friend plays football to an amateur level, sign me up.
I don't think he does lots of sport, but I don't think he does football.
That's okay. I can get
But
on
yeah.
board with many other sports.
Yeah.
As long as he wears like the sports.
Yeah, he
outfit.
loves cycling, so lycra.
Great.
Great.
2 thumbs up from me. It's a weirdly specific type. I'm also kind of like into accents. Weirdly, the Essex accent really does it for me, and I
That's
don't know why.
interesting.
Like Joe Wicks, like that
Yeah,
sort
okay,
of like
yeah, I get that.
Brett Goldstein.
His is like softer, like
Yeah.
not a full-on blown Essex, but it's still there.
Yeah.
Joe Wicks, yeah.
On Brett Goldstein, he is my other dream type. He is stunning.
love
I
it.
had to do a dream type thing I applied for first dates.
Oh
and
my
I-
god, did you?
Yeah.
Did you get on? I'm guessing you didn't get.
I only
actually
did it
on.
a couple of days ago, but
Oh my gosh!
my
I hope you
type
get
was
on.
so wide and
I've
weird.
always.
Like,
I wish I was brave enough to do something like that, but I
you
think
could definitely do that.
I could do. You're right. I just think it'd be so funny.
Yes.
Like even if it's like again terrible, it would just be like hilarious.
That's I'm kind of like, it'd be a great story.
Yeah,
and
it
I
would
think
be
I
a
would
great
do
story.
well.
Okay, if you get on and you go on, I'll copy.
Nice.
You can be my inspiration.
Yes. I love regional accents too, though. I love like an Irish, Scottish, sometimes Welsh, man.
Yeah.
Didn't know that till I left Wales, and I was like, oh, actually,
Oh, I miss it a bit. Yeah.
when I go home, I'm like, oh, nice. Talk to me in Welsh.
That's funny. Okay, let's go to your bestie rec. I'm excited. I
Oh.
feel like you've got so much personality. This friend has got so much that they
she
can
is.
cover.
Reasons to date my best friend. First of all, my best friend comes with me, a hilarious sidekick full of stories and anecdotes about all the celebs I've worked with, which is great pub fodder for you and your friends. She trained as a hair and makeup artist, so not only does she always look immaculate, she can give you a complimentary trim too. She isn't shy of wearing a full sequined jumpsuit to the supermarket either, so you'll never lose her, and everywhere you go you'll basically be accompanied by a cross between a slutty Barbie and a unicorn. My best friend's brother is a geologist, and he delights in showing off his extensive collection of rare rocks. Plus, between them, they've amassed quite a collection of TV and film memorabilia. So basically, you get free entry to a museum included when you visit her, and yes, she does live with her brother. Her bedroom is like a visit to W.H. Smith's. There are pens with every nib size, post-it notes in every conceivable shade, paper clips shaped like llamas. Not only this, but she reads both classic and romantic novels like I read the price tag on a new dress, fast. So date her and you can cancel your library membership and you will never run out of stationery. While we're in her bedroom, her bed is rumoured to be so comfortable that it has a body count rather than a thread count. Yes, 3 men have nearly lost their lives, having been lured back only to fall asleep prior to any action. My best friend has collated a lot of hobbies over the years, from softball to alphabetising a whole cupboard of various teas, to baking, to recently crafting nipple tassels at an adult summer camp. She does stand-up comedy for fun, so she's funny and witty, and she goes on stage to prove it. So you'll never be short of entertainment or free beer if you go along to support her. Just try not to become the subject matter. But beneath the sequins, the collection of teas, the home library and the museum, my best friend is a super funny, quirky, thoughtful, badass soul with a romantic heart and a naughty exterior. So she can bake you brownies and then you can figure out the rest of her skills.
Oh, that's so nice.
Honestly, so nice.
And
So cute.
she does know me better than anyone.
I
so-
literally, I think that's one of my favourite ones. She was making me like laugh as well.
Yeah.
Like actually cackle. She's really funny.
Some of that has come from stand-up that we've written together.
Oh,
so
does she
kind
also
of
do
like-
stand up?
She is like, because she does film work, she has big breaks. So we'll, over the like early summer this year, we were like sitting down and writing stuff together. So like, I recognise some of the, the
cute.
bits that we came up with.
That's
and it's
really
really
nice.
nice.
Yeah,
She is
it's
very
super
funny.
cute.
She's lovely.
Honestly, I mean, when it started with like the best thing is me, I was like, where is this gonna
The
go?
most on-brand thing she could have said. Like when she said it, I was like,
Oh, and that's where this film is where the celebrity bit comes
Yes.
in, because I really wanted to know. Yeah, she literally got in everything that you mentioned, like stationery,
Yeah.
comedy. There was so much more.
The tea.
The tea. I'm just struggling.
The glitter jumpsuits are a whole thing.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
they
but you
have
said you liked
so
ABBA, so
many.
that fit.
Yeah.
Well.
At ABBA Voyage, I wore a full-length sequin jumpsuit,
Oh, I'm
and people
desperate
kept
to go to
stopping me
that.
to have photos with me.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my god, I thought you were like part of it.
I was not. I wish I had been. I was not.
It's really fun. The bed thing was hilarious.
Oh, that is a joke that I do about an Airbnb for emotionally unavailable men that I've started. That is just one of my jokes that she's taken and used as a descriptor for me, because I like there's truth
That's
in
funny,
it,
though.
but it is like my
Yeah.
bed's very comfortable,
And they just-
it's something I
they
got
just
out
don't
of
leave.
I got a break like one of the breakup things I got was this
Oh,
bed.
the mattress.
So expensive. It was like £1,000 mattress.
Yeah, honestly,
It's
they're so mad
comfortable.
expensive.
And even like they got to the point where I was just like inviting people around to be like, how comfortable is this bed?
Just come lie in it.
Just come lie in it.
It's like your like dreams where they do the bed tests. It's just you at home being like, just have a lie.
Yeah, just go like, just have a look at
Just a
this.
test. That's really funny.
Yeah, she mercilessly butchered one of my jokes for that.
Yeah. Oh, and she also got in TV, like all the memorabilia and stuff.
Yes, I had,
I was like, I don't think there'll be a TARDIS at home, but maybe.
I have, it's signed, so I have a TARDIS onesie,
No.
and it's signed by all the producers and Matt Smith and Jenna Coleman.
That's mad.
I know.
Was that like a leaving gift or something?
That was the end, so we did the 50th anniversary, and it was like a huge deal, and they had just like a cupboard full of things, and obviously because my mum passed away while I was working on Doctor Who.
Oh, sad.
They were great
They
with
were
me.
really lovely, yeah. That's
I got
good.
the script, the 50th anniversary script signed by all of the doctors that were still alive at the time.
That's really cool.
And I got the one that isn't watermarked with your name on it, which is like super cool to have. It just it's like the sides version because I'd lost mine and I was really sad. But yeah, it was just
Amazing.
there's so much cool stuff. I have a safe for that.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd.
That really did make me laugh though. Like a ticket to a Fury museum. I was
The
like,
rock collection is a
it went
lot.
with your theme of liking museums as well. The rock collection, yeah.
I love the museum so much. I brought one home with me.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure how I'd feel about the rock collection. I don't
I've
love
named
them.
3 of his rocks after Ted Lasso characters.
Nice.
That's my vibe. Like he has like an obsidian, which is a really like black rock.
Okay.
And it's very shiny. So I've named that after Brett Goldstein's character because he wears
Nice.
black all the time. So it's called Roy.
Roy the
It's
Rock.
Really badass.
Nice.
He's a rock called Roy. Love it.
That's so funny. Okay, let's wrap up with your short summary of why someone should date you.
Ooh.
Yay.
Okay, so I'm cute, I'm kind, I'm caring. Let's get together for some adventures and you can get to know me better.
Cute. That's really nice. You are cute, kind, and caring. I can agree.
Oh, thank you.
That whole statement was just cute, kind, and caring. And this whole episode, I've had such a nice time.
Me too.
Thank you
I
for
love
coming
this.
on.
Thank you so much. I'm pumped to hear it.
Yeah, I can't wait to edit it. To be honest, I just know I'm going to be smiling the whole way through. It's so nice.
This has been amazing. Thank you.
Welcome. Bye.
So if you think cute, kind and caring is the dating energy you want in 2023, definitely write in to get this girl's details. You can request a date by messaging the podcast Instagram @SingleSounds or using the email in the description of the podcast on the app you are listening to right now. I hope you have the best week and I'll see you on Friday at Inferno's. Loads and loads of love.